YouTube family. Today's video is a book review, or how I use the book, The First Days of School by Harry and Rosemary Wong. Now, this is the quintessential book for classroom management. So I wouldn't be much of a, veteran teacher giving advice to novice teachers, first year teachers, if I didn't include this book. I know veteran teachers. I'm a veteran teacher. We look at the book at this time of the year, every year. It's always great to get a refresher on the book. And if you are a first, second year teacher, look at the book again. What did you highlight in college? Did you keep this book? I kept this book. I still have this book. So we're going to go around about it. I don't own any of these ideas. Obviously, I'm just sharing them on YouTube as somebody who's implemented them. So it's how to be an effective teacher. And the first chapter talks about how you have to have a great first day. And how do you have a great first day? Do you teach a lesson? Or is your lesson teaching the rules and procedures of the classroom so the children know the expectations? Yes, it's the second one. You teach the rules and expectations. The rules and procedures and expectations of your classroom. Let them know the procedures. This will help them. The teachers that go right into it and teach a lesson, they spend more time later in the year having to teach these things. Again, this is not from me. It's from chapter 1 of the book, Why You Need to Succeed on the First Day of School. You should know what you're going to say on the first day of school. This is the first time you're meeting these children, so you should have a plan of what you're going to say. You could practice it in the mirror like you would practice anything else. You have to have good control of the class the first week of school. We're not talking about intimidation or anything like that. We're talking about control. Control, they know the procedures, they know the consequences. They know all of those things. They know all of that. That's the control. Not intimidation control, but what is expected of me, and if I don't do this, what happens? Like, what is the consequence? So you want these first few weeks to be really effective. You want your students to achieve, and you want them to start off on the right foot. And that happens in the first few weeks of the school year. Okay, and we all want to be effective. We all want to be highly effective. That's why we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So this video is not about working during your contracted hours, because the first couple of days of school, I never only worked my contracted hours. I had a colleague who would get a babysitter for the first week of school because just like when the kid was a baby, not in school, just because the first week was so stressful, and she just needed to give more time to her job at that point. So she's done that. I also know parents who want to be really involved. Like, everybody's so excited the first week of school. It's like the honeymoon stage. Everybody's in love. I know some parents in my personal life who will take half of a week to be there for their child's first 2-3 days. They'll take vacation days on those days so they can bring them in the morning. They can meet the teacher. They know the homework. They can get the apps on the phone. They can ask for help because then I don't have to worry about work if they need it. So everyone is so excited. Parents are excited. The kids are excited. The kids have on their new little outfits with their new little lunchbox and the little backpack. Everyone is so excited. It's the honeymoon stage. So you as the teacher, you need to be highly effective, right? You can't waste this time. Parents are going to ask you questions. You have to have an answer for that. What is this and this? You have to have an answer. You are the professional in the classroom. And you have to know all of these things. You have to have procedures in place for everything. And so you can explain it to the parents, especially if you have a back to school night in the first, usually they're in the first week or two. So you want to, tell the parents all of these procedures that you have in the classroom. Okay. So as the Wongs say, there are 4 stages of teaching: fantasy, survival, mastery, and impact. So we just talked about the fantasy, right? You want to help, you just in love with the children, with the job, with everything. Yeah. It's like honeymoon stage, right? And I guess we all go through these stages. Honeymoon stage. And then you want to be an effective teacher, right? Everyone's so excited. You did all of this work. You know what you're going to say. And it comes a little bit like overwhelming, right? So now you're in survival mode. So these teachers didn't develop instructional skills yet. They spend their time on busy work for the students. They do a lot of worksheets, dittos, things like that. That is their survival mode. You want to get out of that mode. You don't want to be like in that mode for long. You want to get out of that mode, right? You don't want to stay there. Like when you're in survival mode, this is when you would work your contracted hours, right? You're just trying to survive. The next stage, mastery. The teachers, you need to use effective practices. These teachers know how to manage their classrooms. They teach for mastery. We'll talk about Gardner later on in a different video. But, you're asking the right kinds of questions. That lets the children construct their own knowledge, making up their own questions. The children feel like learning they have a part of learning. They have a hand in the learning process, not that they're here and the teacher's talking to them. They have a part in it. And the 4th stage is the impact stage. This is when you feel like you're making a difference in the lives of the students. Students might come back and say you were amazing. It was great. That's the impact stage. So those are the 4 stages that we're talking about.